Was that it? I thought this was Bill. I thought it was gonna be a very long intro, and you just blew me away. But I'm very excited for this Tuesday night show. Jamie Jones is gonna hop in with me as a co-host, and we have a stacked show with Athenaeum Comic Art, Carolyn Cash, Alex Crocus, Sean Watkins, Paul Kirchner, Jonathan Marks Barravecchia, and this is like a lead up to a CAF meetup at MoCCA Art Fest this weekend, Saturday, March 28th. There's a Kirby panel at noon. We're all going to be there. I would love to get a group photo afterwards. What else is going on? I got a sheet of notes that we have to get to real quick. IC3, Indie Comics CreatorCon. Applications are open for Jacksonville, July 11th, and Providence, September 26th. Visit www.ic3.art to put your application in for the Providence show or the Jacksonville show. I want to make sure that every comic book creator that wants to be there can be there. So get your application in. Comic Art Live is coming up May 16th through the 17th. And next week, mystery sketches go on sale April 2nd. And then booth setup starts April 16th. And if you need help setting up your free CAF account, just message me. Just send me a message and I will help you, because it's Comic Art Live, CAF. We got to do this.
Whoa, I'm here. Hi, what's up? How are you, Matt? How are you, Sardo?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this weekend. It's gonna be so much fun.
It should be. I will not be there, but I am excited to announce that today I am now a premier status member of Banana Republic factory store. They just emailed me. I don't know what that means, but I get a wider window to return things. Crazy.
I mean, you are a Banana Republic. I mean, like your sweater collection is pretty impressive.
They are primarily from Banana
It's
Republic.
going to go in the Cartoonist Hall of Fame, the Jamie Jones corner, few sweaters.
Yeah. Certainly.
But we're going to talk about some Pokemon at the end of the show that you've been doing. I'm leaving you at the end to talk about what you've been working on with Pokemon. But I want to bring on Sean, I want to bring Caroline and Alex, because we need to talk Athenaeum and MoCCA.
I don't know if we can top Pokemon.
Oh, we can't. Well, we
like
can
Pokemon
only...
is sicker than anything.
No, we can leave. Let you all
we can talk about Pokemon instead of whatever we were going to talk about.
Yeah, Squirtle.
Wait, I'm playing Silver right now.
Oh, nice. I'm playing
so...
Fire Red as
the world is. It's awesome.
As the world is. It's great.
I'm playing a ROM hack of Pokemon Crystal called Crystal Legacy. It's awesome.
Nice.
Have you played the Crystal hack that has like the Swinub on it or whatever?
No, but
that one's really good. It's like Crystal Clear, I think it's called. That one's pretty good.
I have heard good things about Crystal Clear.
Matt, you're gonna have to pull us in.
No, I'm literally just leaving. I'm gonna leave from the. It's that's what I do. I do that lost leader, and then I just walk away for 10 minutes, and then the show is done with. But Alex, I feel like you're trying to fight me or make this the most difficult show ever. I hopped on your Instagram, and this is the first thing I saw. Like literally,
Let's start with that one, Alex. Why not?
Yeah, I was trying this new thing out where I just tried to make a 4-panel comic with as many inflammatory takes as I could think of. You're not the only one who was pissed off by this. But
oh no, the comment thread is pretty solid. Like I go to your Instagram, go to this one, and it just because it builds off of this. This is panel 1 of 4. So I mean, like it builds here.
Yeah, it does snowball. I feel like with this, it made me feel like the era of relatable comics of the 2010s has come to an end, because at best half of the room related to these takes, but people still hit like. I think they just liked that I was like popping off about anything,
Yeah.
and it feels like a good step forward for the medium.
I do take personal offense to the last panel, but that's another conversation.
But my question is like, what is the least boring format of Mexican food?
In my opinion, I'm going to say nachos because they're fun. They're interactive. They're like, it's something for you to like, explore. It's like you're exploring like a jungle or a forest or something. A burrito is just about practicality. It's just having like a tube of calories that keeps you nourished. There's no, it's joyless in my opinion.
I see you're losing followers on Instagram as we're talking.
I can hear the number going down.
And then the best part of my job is I get to research cartoonists, and so then I go down the rabbit hole of like the billionaire comic strip that you did. Was it 2021 or like was that like COVID?
Oh yes, the one of the guy who drops his bag of money.
They're in space. They meet aliens. There's a lot of money thrown around.
You kind of do rag on billionaires on the reg though, so this could be any.
This is where I was lost. Like you're ragging on Mexican food and billionaires. I could do one or the other. I couldn't do both. Like it's like
whoa. I am not ragging on all Mexican food. Just burritos specifically.
Just the burrito. Yeah.
Specifically,
I'm
the dry
deferring
burrito.
right now.
Yes. Deferring to me. So you're let's get a question about comics. So you just finished in the last how long ago was it? Your Talking with My Father's Ghost is a long form comic. You do a lot of short form comics. How do you transition and what is the process like in writing something quick and snippy into writing something that's much longer form?
There's definitely the challenge of making like a cohesive narrative arc, and that graphic novel, Talking to My Father's Ghost, was my first time really foraying into something that long form. So I kind of wanted to still play to my strengths and format it like it's like a collection of comic strips. I kind of wanted to like have it feel like you're reading like a collection of Calvin and Hobbes strips, because that's like how I read a lot of comic strips when I was a kid. So I wanted it to be formatted that way. So the whole book is just like 2-page vignettes over like the first year of like me grieving the passing of my father. And I feel like keeping it in that structure made it like familiar to me, because I've been doing like comic strips for like so many years, and just formatting it that way has made it easier to tell a story. Also easier to edit too, because it's easier to like swap strips around, being like, okay, I just had 3 sad ones right next to each other, one after another. I should buffer it with maybe like a funny one here.
Yeah.
And it was a good way to like get more into script writing.
So do you have a lot of edit, like in the editing process? Are you doing that a lot? Are you writing your jokes and then doing the drawings? Or are you doing the drawings and then writing the jokes? How does that? I'm always curious about how people write comics, because comics don't seem to be written in any way that makes any sense. Ever.
I mean, that's why I like them so much. Talking shop with other cartoonists always reveals to me that like everyone's got their own like method for writing and drawing their strips. For my 4-panel stuff, I just have like a notes app on my phone that just has like 4 lines, one for each panel. And like when I have an idea, I just write down the 4 lines, and I'll either get right to drawing that, or I will just let it sit in my notes app for like 2 years And when I have writer's block or anything, I will just whip out the old notes app and like find one that still makes me funny. Sorry, what that still strikes me as funny, and then I will, I will bring it back from the dead and draw it.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes.
Can you just publish your notes app? Because I want to read it. Because I want to know like what was timely at the time, and then like no, that's not going to work anymore. Like and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could just like release like a zine of just screen caps from my phone. That could probably resonate with some people.
There's a market for that. We can figure out that. We can figure out how to sell that. That would work.
No, but just like, you know, kind of just not breaking down your comment, but like your headline right here, that starts a fight. And then like then you have like the cross, and then you have a raccoon, and then you have all the animals in the background. Like you layer kind of the controversy in there, and I like the way it works. It works for me.
I appreciate it. I always try and have, you know, the art layer something on top of the text, because it's like it's an opportunity to just get more mileage out of one panel. Like I feel like it's not as fun to have like a character saying like, I'm walking right now, with a drawing of it walking, you know, like take advantage of the medium, like have a funny line and then like a somewhat related funny drawing with it.
And then I was like looking at your Instagram, and I saw like Quahog, and I was like, or Family Guy, like how big of an influence, where are the comedians that are influencing you?
There is definitely some influence in the first 3 seasons of Family Guy. I had those. I'd like to think that I helped contribute to it getting brought back, because I bought those DVD box sets. I did my part. I think that a lot of my inspiration comes from TV writing. I like imagine like a lot of my strips as like, you know, it's like moving in my head. I try and bring a lot of my animation sensibilities to my humor. And I also tried to bring that to the graphic novel as well. Like Talking to My Father's Ghost is like an like animated mumblecore movie in a lot of ways.
There's such a beautiful cadence to your work. There's such like a great flow. Like it's hilarious, and then it just like punches you in the face. It's so funny. Like I literally, I mean, the first time I saw your work was at the show we did in Silver Sprocket in San Francisco with Rosemary, and I was just. My wife and I were there, and we were just laughing so hard. And we both read your book as soon as we got back home. And you know, it's rare. I love comedy, but it's rare that I laugh out loud. And your stuff your art makes me laugh out loud.
Hell yeah! You hear that, Caroline?
There you go.
Makes Sean laugh.
You know,
we can talk about Nancy.
Whoa! We got to talk about what's going on with Sluggo. Where's Sluggo living lately?
Oh, he just moved into his uncle's abandoned property.
Is that the tree?
No.
That's the next.
He's
Okay.
finally in a house. And the trade-off with his uncle is gonna be for him to fix up the house in order to stay there for free. But Sluggo's pretty lazy, so let's see. Also, it's like kind of a dick move of his uncle to like make an 8-year-old fix up his house. But
my brain was like,
you know,
what skills does he bring to the table? But I mean, he has a van, so I mean, like
he's an oogle. He's like a jack of all trades. He is actually pretty good at a lot of stuff. But I think he's gonna get really into gardening. I see that. You know,
and then
that's just my inkling. He's getting into gardening.
How far can you like push the envelope with Nancy? I mean, again, we're talking about food. This is going to be a food show. You mentioned lasagna. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I immediately want to see them smash spiders afterwards. So, like, how far can you like push the envelope with Nancy?
I don't know yet. We'll find out. Like so far, everything I've pitched has been accepted. So, you know, but like it's an all ages strip and it runs in newspapers. So I just keep that in mind, you know.
I mean, does part of you want that like that letter back that says we can't do that?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
No, I'm
Some
not
people
aiming for
do. Some
that.
people do. That's like it's fine. It's
No, I have other comics for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you know, it's like I really like the original Nancy and like the Nancys that have come before my stuff. I'm just trying to emulate them. I'm not trying to be like super edgy with it. Like maybe for like a collection that I could have like a PG-13 sticker on or something. I could like have like Aunt Fritzy have a really crazy day, but like for the you know what I mean. But like for the most part,
I wasn't going PG-13. I was literally just going PG. That's where I was going. I was just raising it.
oh,
that
I
much
think
more.
it is.
I was going that
I
much
think
farther.
it's PG. I think PG is fine. I think
Yeah.
it maybe is PG.
I think there's some subversiveness to what you're doing, especially around
Yeah.
Fritzy.
She
I
was
mean,
doing,
she's becoming an icon on the former Twitter, right?
I just like I want so badly when gay guys see her to call her a diva. So that's my goal with her. I want gay guys to call her mother. You know what I mean? Because she is like she is a diva. Like
but isn't she hasn't she always been? Are you just bringing that back up to light? Are you just making it?
She's always been a diva. Right. It's just my goal, you know.
Yes. Well, you got to bring her into 2026. Make everyone recognize.
Make her, you know.
She's fallen wayside. People need to know.
Okay, so if there's a pantheon of divas, like who are your top 3 divas?
Divas in comics?
No. This is
just of all time.
Just divas. Like where are we trying to get to?
Oh, that's hard. I mean, let's say it's in comics, right?
Okay.
Because that's easier than real life. It's like I feel like Veronica's a pretty famous diva.
I feel like Wolverine's a diva, but that's for all the comic art fans.
I think Jessica's mother.
I don't know him good enough to say whether or not he's a diva. You know what I mean? I like that he's like a short king. I think that's cool. But I don't know too much about him. I know he's got like claws.
He does. Yeah.
I didn't think that his movie was as good as Madame Web, but I like that the guy from Les Mis plays him.
Madame Web, diva.
The guy from Les Mis, yeah.
The Greatest Showman is better than Les Mis, by the way. Just so we know.
That's agreed.
I believe that. That sounds believable. But I think I'd go with like Aunt Fritzy, Veronica, and like Sasuke. Those are all divas to me.
You know that that like Hungarian comic from the 50s, Jessica?
Oh, she's a diva too. She's a classic diva, yeah.
Oh yeah, she's mother.
Crazy.
In my opinion, she's definitely up there.
Gay guys are calling her mother on Twitter right now. She's she's Aunt Fritzy's peer. Not competition, peer.
Peer.
I feel like they would be friends, you know.
And when it comes to comic strips, like that 3-panel layout, because it comes from like joke telling and storytelling, like, can you kind of like help me out with that? Like explain like what you're trying to pull off in those 3 panels and make me understand comics better.
I'm trying to set it up so that the joke is easily understood and easily laughed at. Specifically within like the context of like the Nancy universe. But I feel like I think Alex probably has smarter things to say about it because He's been doing like 4-panel strips longer than me, but
Yeah, but that's 4.
I
That
feel
totally
like,
screws up the math there.
It does. Yeah,
I just
I've got some friends with a hot take that all 4-panel comics, like on the internet, are at its core, well, actually, at least in the West, are at its core actually 3-panel comics. And you could probably get rid of one of the 4 panels and make it 3. And part of me thinks that they were just saying that to me to piss me off. But I do agree with it. Sometimes with the 4th panel, I'm kind of like, oh, what am I going to do with this one? And it's like it's a fun resource to just like figure out what am I going to do with the 4th one. But a lot of them could be like cooked down to 3. I just, I only started doing 4 because it looked nice as a square. And when I got started, everything on social media was squares. So I just stuck with that. But, jokes, writing, storytelling, and it's all in 3s. So Caroline's doing it correctly, and I'm not.
A lot of my Nancy's are 4 panels.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes they're 3, sometimes they're 5, sometimes they're 2, sometimes they're 1. They just have to fit on the newspaper. So, but I like the Sundays a lot because they give me extra space. So I feel like I save my favorite ideas for Sundays. But there's a Sunday. That one just came out.
Beautiful.
I love this one.
That's very nice.
I'm really happy with how it turned out. Yeah.
How large are you drawing these, Caroline?
It really depends on what kind of paper I have at my house. Since I'm drawing these every day, I keep running out of paper because I do everything traditionally. So some of them are really big and some of them are really small. And some of them are like 3 drawn on 1 piece of paper. And some are like Frankenstein together. So they're all different sizes, but I can plop them into the template, so it's okay.
Yeah.
This is the plight of an indie art rep, which is regardless of how many pages of art we sell, the artists I work with just use whatever paper's available at the time, and that's how they live. You can't change it. You can't change it.
I mean, you could send paper.
I could send Caroline paper, and she probably wouldn't use it.
I would probably use it. It's true.
I mean, you should just make an Amazon wish list of all the paper you want. And I just
I go through it so fast. Like, since I gotta do one of these, like, here's
Be gentle.
No, just show us everything.
Don't show one that's not out yet.
No, this is like the 3rd strip or something. Oh yeah, I can't show the ones that aren't out yet, but like. Oh, this one's not out yet either. Fuck.
Hi, the Neighborhood Crime Watch is not watching you.
Okay. Wait,
Caroline's gonna bring a lot of these to MoCCA if you all want to take a look at them in person.
Here's like
nice.
Some different sizes, right? Like here's one from when I had bigger paper, and here's one from when I had smaller paper.
Oh, so you're not adding? Are you adding the borders digitally?
So I have a light box that I have the like borders printed out on, and then I have a template that I when I erase all the pencil, I usually erase the borders, and then I just drag and drop it into like the template that I have like digitally saved, because I have like the 4 or 5 different like newspaper safe layouts like that on my computer, just because I don't want to accidentally like get the measurements wrong. It's pretty important that I don't. But yeah, and then some of them, like this one, this is like I drew a Sunday strip really big, and this is like the overflow too. So some of them are even on like 2 pages. And then some of them are really small. Sorry, now I'm just playing show and tell with you guys. But
that's how the video format of the show. Like, it's called Comic Art Fans, so like they're fans of comic
And the
art.
risograph. Do people know what a risograph is?
We're
in the
right by
chat?
my scanner. You see all of this? This is a stack of Nancy's
Nice.
that were all scanned on the scanner. And then
Do you
have
blow
it,
this? Do you blow circuits often, or is it?
I don't think so.
Wow, we have the same brand of scanner.
It's the best one.
Is that
True.
Epson?
Epson V500.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very
bring-
nice.
I think
That's-
I'm gonna bring her to MoCCA.
Yes,
Ooh.
please. That's for a secret project that we're working on for Athenaeum.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
It's top secret.
Yeah, and then some of them like okay, like this one. Yeah, this one came out today, so it's okay. But this one, like, I cut out a piece of paper because I was using it for, you know what I mean. I just like with these deadlines, I don't have time to go to the store.
Can you do one strip on an Amazon box? Will that work?
No, I don't like inking on cardboard.
Okay.
I've tried.
How long? And this is, I guess, a question for both of y'all. How long does it take you to make a strip? I know Caroline is doing one a day, so that is a thing. But do you guys time yourself? Are you diligent on how long it takes you to make something?
It
That's a great
completely
gosh.
depends. It depends on how big I'm drawing. It depends
classic.
on. Thank you. I'm pretty happy with this one.
I've had many people ask about that piece, not for sale, unfortunately.
I don't think it's for sale. I think it's for me.
Unless you have a lot of money, and then we'll consider it.
If you have a lot of money, then I will consider it.
Mhm.
But because I think it's real. Because for the most
There is
part,
always a price, my friends.
There
It is a
definitely
perfect
a
Nancy
price.
strip.
It is a
I
perfect
will-
Nancy strip. We got to keep it for at least a show at some point.
When it
I
was,
feel like most of the time people are down to like run stuff out if like we're gonna have a show though, right? For the
Yeah.
most
I mean, I
part,
do know this guy who runs OAX, and we could have a special gallery of Nancy. Just putting it out into the universe that we could have comic strips in one of the galleries.
that'd be great.
Well, just Sunday.
All right, show that one for Kezra. Say, Kezra, I want this to be in the special gallery.
Could be in the special gallery. Just say, here's the first one I did. Here's the first two from my
Oh.
run.
Nice.
They're
Carolyn,
on the same
how was
piece of paper.
OAX for you? How was Orlando? How was OAX?
I had a great time. Every time I'm in Orlando, I'm like, it's kind of a crazy city to be in. But I had a great time. Oh, here's one where I taped it together.
Oh, nice.
But as Sean like grimaces at me taping pieces
It
of
just
paper
means
together.
it'll be more affordable.
And Nancy, Fritzy looks great in it. But I had a great time in Orlando though. Thank you so much for having me. I like affordable.
That one hurts a little bit inside.
Is that one 25% off?
No, since it's the third strip of my run, I think it's actually really expensive. But
Yeah, easy to frame. Just frame it in like a Tetris box.
Yes.
well, I think if someone bought it, I'd like draw a little something right here, so then they can actually have a little. You know
We're
what
very
I mean?
inventive at Athenaeum Comic Art.
I feel like you get to see the authentic process.
There you go.
Athenaeum Comic Art, but I had a great time. I don't know. It was really cool to go to a show where everyone was so clearly in it for the comics and really dedicated to the actual art of the comics. And it felt like everyone was there on a mission, which I really like. And it was really kind of refreshing because sometimes you go to shows and it's like people only want to buy like a tote bag, which I love a tote bag. Like I'm going to get one too, but it was nice that everyone seemed really dedicated to the same thing that I'm obsessed with, and I know you guys are obsessed with. So
You can buy Caroline designed Athenaeum Comic Art tote
you can buy
bag
our tote
on
bag
my
for
website
sure.
if you really want a tote bag. You can't
I
afford
really
ours
thought you were making fun of Sean's tote bags for a
I
second.
wasn't. No, I
I
went
was like,
to-
oh my god.
No, I was at an art market in Philly like 2 days ago, and it was super cute. And I'll probably table at it next time they have it. But like, and there were some people selling comics there, but it was mostly just like the cute store. You know what I mean? Like the pop-up market. It was which was cool. It's cool to get a cool outfit, but I like comic stuff more. I don't know. I think I saw too many people buying tote bags the other day.
Sean, I'm going to say my tote bag story for
Okay.
Saturday. Athenaeum guys, Sean, Caroline, Alex, thank you so much. I can't wait to just goof off at your table for a little bit of time this weekend. Go to MoCCA, support the artists, support the art reps. It's going to be a great time. I have a few more MoCCA artists coming on here, and it's going to be a good show. So thank you again for your time.
Thanks, folks.
Buy our tote bag. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good one.
See you, Sean. And coming to the stage, Paul Kirchner, one of the original IC3 attendees. Paul, how you doing?
Doing fine.
I was gonna have a big intro, but then I was like, I just want to get you on the stage, and
Okay.
because I feel bad, when somebody's like, hey, I have a stack of my artwork and I just want to show it to you. I'm like, I can't pull away from that. So when Caroline was like, hey, here's all the Nancys, and I was like, I got to look at it all.
I enjoyed that. I wasn't aware. Is she like the official Nancy artist now?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. She took over after Olivia James.
Huh. Very interesting. My French publisher just did a little unauthorized Nancy book, and now he thinks he better keep it on the QT as far as whether it's. I don't think Nancy is quite like a Marvel or Disney character where they're gonna sick their army of lawyers on you,
But you're gonna be at MoCCA this weekend as well. You're IC3 alumni. You did the Comic Art Live. If you go to CAF right now, you have a ton of artwork up for sale. What do you bring into MoCCA?
Well, I'm just bringing books. I have a pretty good table full of books and some little prints I've made. That's generally what I sell. I mean, if somebody got in touch with me in advance and wanted something in particular as far as originals, I'd bring it along. But I did well through CAF with just mail order, not only in the U.S. but Europe, and just it's been good. I like it much better than dealing through a. I am represented by a gallery in Paris, but you have to kind of wholesale the prices. So I prefer this. One of the tricks is that on some of the longer stuff I've done, like for heavy metal, I hate to just sell individual pages, because obviously someone's going to pick the 2 or 3 best pages and leave me with stuff that doesn't make much sense as an isolated piece. But on the other hand, a lot of my work is single page, like the bus, and for about 10 years I was doing heavy metal as I was doing Dope Rider for High Times, as 1-page strips, which is what they wanted. So those are all standalones.
Yeah, you have a ton of pages on CAF for sale right now. I'll try to take a screenshot of them and bring them up.
Yeah, that one is a print my French publisher wanted me to design. Fairly large print. The original is pretty huge. It's on a full sheet of Strathmore 23 by 29 paper.
Wow.
I like, whenever possible, I like to draw twice up. That was a problem I always had with mainstream comics, where it's only half up, and I feel very cramped with that. Plus, some people have a very ability to draw tightly at a very small scale, and I don't know. I just feel I like the look of my work printed better when I've done it twice up. It just sort of tightens everything up.
What are you using to draw with? Get real specific. If you have a nib that you like, I want to know the name. I want to know the number.
Well, I've experimented with different things in recent years. You know, I had a long sabbatical from comics, or hiatus, as the actors would say. Because in the 80s, I got more commercial work in advertising, work for toy companies, that kind of thing, ad agencies. But a lot of that stuff was basically comics too. I mean, I drew comics for toys, and you know, a lot of the work I did, or I did some work for magazines like Sports Illustrated for kids, where I was drawing comics. But anyway, I like to work in a traditional way. I use Strathmore 3-ply Series 500 paper, really good paper, and lately I've been drawing with an H pencil. That's what is it, a Prismacolor? It's funny, the pencils vary a lot between different makers as far as the hardness and the erasability on the paper. You know, sometimes I'll use a different brand of pencil, and when you try to erase it, it doesn't come up real clean, which is a problem. But as far as erasing, I use these little soft white pearl erasers. I think they're made by Pentel. Then for a while, when I got back into comics about, well, seriously, it was about 10 or 12 years ago, I started working on new bus strips. And those I was working with a Faber-Castell superfine felt tip pen. You really start going through those very quickly. And I'm very concerned about stuff like that, because I found that if someone hangs it up and it gets sunlight on it, the line will really fade away, and it gets sort of dull red line. That's not good. So then I started working for a while. I was working with a Noodler Flex Nib fountain pen, and I did enjoy. You know, it worked very smoothly on the paper. I always used to work with a dip pen, you know, with like a Gillette nib, that kind of thing. But the quality of the Strathmore paper is not what it used to be. It doesn't have the really hard surface it used to have. And sometimes the pen will kind of dig into it a little bit, and you get some feathering. The other thing is that with the Strathmore paper you could get until about 20 years ago, you could actually erase ink lines with an electric eraser and work over the surface. It would still take the line beautifully. Whereas now, if you use an electric eraser, you've ruined the surface of the paper. It turns into like a sheet of Bounty towel, basically. So as I said, I had been working with a fountain pen, which has kind of a rounded nib, and I did a lot of the early dope riders with that, but I found it unsatisfactory because I don't want to work with a uniform line. I have a somewhat realistic style. I wouldn't go so far as to call it really realistic, but I like to be able to vary line thickness. You know, for stuff in the background or minor details, I like to be able to make a thin line and, you know, beef up the lines in the foreground. I do all my work with a pen. I've never really mastered the brush. I've never gotten enough control with it to do brush work. But anyway, I came across these old steel nibs from the 40s. They're called Eagle nibs, and those are great. They're better than anything I've found today, and I've experimented with a lot of the manga nibs, but I really like these steel nibs, and I've picked them up on eBay very cheaply. I think I have a lifetime supply, and I could buy a box with 144 nibs. That should last a while. They eventually kind of let you down, but you work with them for quite a while. You're always, kind of bending them a bit to get a thicker line or a heavier line where you want it. So you do subject them to some abuse. The other thing is that I've gotten back to just using what we used to work with in the 70s when I was working for Wally Wood, which is just ink, Higgins India ink. I've tried all these other ones and have always found problems with them. Like people had recommended Pelican 4001 ink, and it flows very nicely, but even when it's dry, if you touch it with your hand, it'll pick up a little bit. And then if you're putting your hand on the page, you'll get these little speckles of the ink. It's like it doesn't really dry in a impermeable manner. Yeah. So the Higgins, I just have to come back to that. It's the best. It dries fairly quickly. And once it's dry, it's dry. Back when I was shipping, for a while I was drawing these He-Man comics for a company called Welsh Publishing. And one time I shipped in these pages, FedEx, that were inked with India ink. And somewhere along the FedEx route, maybe in Memphis, the cardboard box was left out in the rain, and all the artwork was wet. But the India ink was waterproof, absolutely no problem.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the only time I had that misfortune, but it didn't turn out to be a disaster.
And then, Dope Rider, and I'm really trying to just grasp your style and inspiration, because it's really, some of the stuff is just really out there.
Well, the Dope Rider concept. When I was first trying to get into comics, when I was at Cooper Union Art School in the early 70s, and I kept trying to develop some. At the time, I was actually in the comic business also. I was working at one of the early comic book stores in the city, but wanted to get a foothold in the business. So I would go to the conventions. They had one Second Sunday. That was one of them. That was held in a hotel lobby, and then they had the Phil Seuling twice a year conventions, with the big summer one, and I think there was something around Christmas. I'm not sure about that. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, so I was working on my own samples, and I was very big fan of Sergio Leone and the Italian Westerns. And so I did a 10-page Western. I just did it in pencil because I thought if I tried to ink it, I would ruin it. But that had a very surrealistic feel. And I got an opportunity to, I was introduced to Neil Adams, and he kind of got me a foothold working at DC for Joe Orlando, doing those little horror books, short stories. And so I had, I also showed, there was a new magazine that was starting up called Harpoon, which was going to have a comic section that was kind of a ripoff of the Lampoon. And when I showed that surrealistic Western to the editor, whose name Dennis Lopez, his father owned the publishing company, he liked it, but he said, you should do this as a kind of a drug-themed strip, because that would make the surrealism have a kind of a logic to it. Otherwise, people won't really know what's going on here, you know, put it in a trippy environment. So he actually wrote a script for me, and I went home and did it. And then we did, then the next issue, I wrote and drew my own, which actually didn't really come out that well. And then he was thinking of, he wasn't sure he wanted to keep running it. It was kind of funny. He said, you know, I wish we'd get some response from the readers. You know, so I thought, well, I could take care of that. So my sister was living out in Pittsburgh, and I told her what she sent in a fan letter, and I think it was probably the only fan letter he ever got for his magazine. So he brought me back in there, and I got a third strip in. And then he was contacted by High Times magazine, which was then in its first year, and the publisher was a very eccentric character, Tom Prasad, who was actually kind of a fugitive who didn't stay at the office. He kind of lived in an off-site hotel suite, but he was very enamored of it, and he brought me in, and I was working for them for a few years, and I loved doing the surrealistic stuff. I think it really makes doing comics fun for me, because I can, you know, for example, I don't get stuck in the realism trap. You know, if I'm drawing a scene in a saloon and I start realizing how complex the perspective is getting to be and what a challenge it is, I just think, well, who cares? I just draw it completely crazy, and that's fitting with the concept of the strip. You know, I'll draw, you know, fish swimming around, or the people in the background bigger than the people in the foreground. You know, I have that freedom to do whatever I want. So I'm, you know, I really do enjoy doing that strip, and I'm working on it right now, because when High Times folded up in July 2024, and I had done, at that point, I'd been working for them for 10 years, and I had already gotten a collection of strips out. But after that collection was wrapped up, I had done an additional 46 strips, and I really want to get another collection out, and that's not enough for a collection. So currently, I'm just producing more of those strips, and I did a 12-page story, and I'm going to try to do another like 12-page story. So, you know, the flexibility of Dope Rider allows me to draw almost anything I want to do, or set it anywhere I want to set it. Whereas with the bus, I just got a third volume of the bus out. And I think that may be kind of my swan song, because it's inherently limited in that sooner or later, you're going to start drawing strips that outside of certain minor details are going to be basically a same gag you've used already, which bothers me. And another aspect of that is the nature of the humor in the bus involves a lot of repetition of frames with small changes until you get the payoff. This would be an exception where I get to draw a different scene in every frame.
Sorry, I tried to pull up one good for you.
No, that's fine. But often it is like the same scene, a little change, you know, than the punchline. And that gets very, frankly, tedious. You know, it's really like labor to draw it, rather than, you know, oh, you know, now I get to draw something different. You know, that's something I enjoy more. So, you know, one of the things I've discovered is that once you establish a property that people like, and I'm fortunate to have established these two things, Dope Rider and the Bus, that I own, and that were done long enough ago that they had built up a fan base before the modern day with this enormously glutted market where it's so hard to break through with anything. You know, I do have a definite fan base. So when I try to do something different, like you know, 8 or 10 years ago, I started drawing this new strip, Hieronymus and Bosch, which is about a little character in hell. And, you know, we have published a collection of that. But it's just, you know, I sell it well at conventions where people can pick it up and look at it and say, oh, this is funny, and I'll buy this. But as far as mail order, it just doesn't get the sales really. It's, you know, that you just have to be realistic about business. When you've got something that's working, just work it. You know, don't
Sure.
No need to go off on a different tangent.
So I tried to upload it, and I've already uploaded a lot of images, but I'll grab an image of Hieronymus real quick and everything. So I do like. I mean, I love all the little inscriptions that you do in the bus. Like I love seeing that, and it's I love that touch. So, but I'll have to pick up this on Saturday. That's
Yeah.
on my list now. So.
Yeah, it's I've gotten good reaction to it. It is funny. Last year or I guess it was 2 years ago when I was at MoCCA, someone came over to the table and said, "I've been telling everybody here that I just want something funny," and they said, "Oh, you should go get that Hieronymus and Bosch. That's funny." So he came over and looked at it and he bought it. So that was I felt very validated. MoCCA's always been a good show for me. I enjoy that. It's got a good crowd.
Yeah, no, you have Mice in Boston, you have MoCCA, and now we have IC3. Like that little corridor. Now we have like a good set of shows. Yeah. So if you're an indie creator, you know those are the shows to kind of get into.
Yeah, I did Mice last year. I didn't think it got a big crowd. I was a little disappointed. But it just may have been something else going on. You know, that's kind of hard to predict or to manage, I would think.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited to go to MoCCA this weekend, and I can't wait to give you a high five and get some books and just see some friends and some great cartoonists and creators. It's gonna be a fun weekend. So I'm very excited. And Paul, thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see you on Saturday.
Yeah, well, I look forward to it, and I really thank you, Matthew, for you're just getting some stuff going. That's really great. I mean, this CAF site is just fantastic. It's such a needed asset for they have some specialized shows that I've attended in New York where it's just selling originals, and often just nothing happens. You know, people are there just looking for superhero stuff or a particular artist, and it's not. I think the website is so much better. You know, it's even people in Europe are looking at it. It's great.
No, Comic Art Fans has a really big following, and we got a few surprises for you guys in the next couple days. And Bill has done some amazing work and with Comic Art Live and those, again, the international audience buying artwork and everything like that. It's a good chance. It's a solid place for indie creators to post their art and get some new eyeballs on it and get people that want to buy stuff. And I work for Comic Art Fans, so I mean, I totally believe in the product and stuff like that. So,
no,
Paul,
it's great. It's really good.
So we got Jonathan up on next. So you have safe travels into the city, right. And I will see you Saturday, my friend. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Jamie, you got your Pokemon ready? You getting your Pokemon ready?
I can go grab them.
No, we got Jonathan coming on. I think he's knitting. I think Jonathan's knitting.
No.
Shit. What's up, guys?
Caught in the act.
I know. Rolling my hand wraps, knitting me a sweater.
Oh, speaking of the sweater, it's a callback to the sweater, Jamie. Jamie might be able to get you a discount at Banana Republic. We've established that earlier. on the
Oh,
show.
word.
I can. Actually, that is one of the things that I can, I now have the ability to. I can grant people their birthday gifts, which is crazy.
Like Santa Claus.
I am like Santa Claus. I grow this beard out. It's very red, which means it will be white.
Mine is very white now. Snuck up on me.
I just want to start off with, like, when I go through your artwork, like, this page jumps out at me, and I love this. I love this page so much.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks. That's a project from a couple years ago called Punch. There are two I guess oversized issues that I did with a photographer and a writer named Alan Amato. And it's sort of end of the world, fallen preacher navigating through hell, well, through what is probably hell. And these are all the 7 deadly sins at a bar hanging out.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's a great piece, and whenever I'm on Comic Art Fans and I'm like, looking for artwork and stuff, I see this pop up, and I was like, man, I can use. That's why I was like, I'm totally using this for the featured image for YouTube, because it's like one of my favorite pieces.
Oh, hell yeah.
On the page there. I love it so much. But so let's kind of talk about like your art background, because I don't think we've ever sat down and really kind of talked about that.
No. Yeah, I mean, I it's the same story for probably most of us. Grew up loving comics and wanting to draw comics, and at a certain point realized that it was a job that someone did, so it's potentially something I could do. When I was in high school, I think I have told the story in other podcasts, but my high school had opportunities in your senior year to do what was called a senior project, and it was internship, or you shadow someone in the industry where you wanted to go, or whatever, volunteer work. And I wanted to make a comic, and I teamed up with a teacher at my school who was also a nerd and had a story, like a fantasy story that he'd written when he was younger, and we wanted to make it into a comic book. And I realized very quickly that making comics is hard work. It's not as much fun as like, I think I'm going to just draw Spider-Man now, or more like when I was younger, like I'm going to just go copy this Spider-Man drawing that I like from some comic that I like from some other creator. So to make a comic was hard. And at 17 or 18, honestly, I didn't have the discipline to do it. So I had a sort of a shift where I was like, well, I can't make comics. Like, I can't make comics. It's just something that I want to do for fun, or some, I want to read it or whatever. And so I sort of tried to tell myself that I'm not going to make comics, and I didn't study art. I went to university. I studied literature, and was like, I don't know what I was planning on doing, but in the back of my head was always, I still want to draw. I still have to draw. I still love comics. I still want to make comics. I still want to tell stories. I still want to make comics. I still want to make comics. I'm going to do comics. I can make comics. I want to make comics. And it was just always there. So, as an adult, really, or an older person in my 20s, the commitment was really renewed. But again, I didn't go to art school or anything. So it was always just drawing by myself, or not by myself, but learning on however we learn as individuals, copying artists whose work I admired, or reaching out to artists. I've never had a big problem with asking artists whose work I admired, like, hey, how do you do this? Or is this good, or is this terrible? Or, I eventually got a portfolio together and was just going to conventions. And I give this advice to any person who wants to break in too. I mean, it's harder and harder now because there's no editors really at conventions, and publishers are harder to get in touch with. But talk to the artists that you like, and see if you can't talk to the same artist every year, or every 6 months, or every couple of years. If you can catch them repeatedly, whether or not they remember you, I mean, I literally would go. I had my notebook where I'd take notes of like the things that they would say to then try to improve upon, and then try to see that same person again, at the next convention, and whether they remembered me or not, to see if they had the same notes or to see if I was improving or not. And I think I honestly don't think that it ever got me work, but I think it certainly did help me improve as a cartoonist, as an illustrator. So that's it. I mean, it's not like a super like dramatic story. It's just, wanted to do it. Eventually, I sort of went about it maybe a more difficult way than I needed to, but
yeah, no,
found my way in.
That's really good
eventually.
advice, because if you like talk to like, I don't know, 3 or 4 different artists and they all send you in 3 different directions, I mean, again, nothing's the exact advice, but but if you get that follow up and that feedback, that's a really nice little tidbit that I'm going to steal. Thank you.
Yeah, do. I mean, because I love I CB Cebulski, I've heard say this, and I'm sure he didn't make up to it, but breaking into comics is like breaking out of jail, where once one person figures out a way to do it, then that way is closed and no one else can do that. But I would argue the way that I did it is always open. It's just whether or not you have it sounds so arrogant to say, but whether or not you have that sort of discipline or that passion or that fortitude to do that. I will tell one story. I remember when I was first breaking in, I was working for a company called Aspen Comics, Michael Turner's company. And I was in line for a portfolio review at Aspen. I think it was at Aspen. And I was talking to, the other people in line. Eventually got the portfolio review, I started a relationship, whatever. The next year, this is probably like San Diego or something, like a big show. I was at the table, behind the table, drawing, because I had a comic book with Aspen. And the same person who was in line came up to the table and was like, hey, like we kind of recognized each other. And I was like, how are you doing? They were complimentary, oh my God, you're here and you're doing, you made a comic book. Yeah. So how are you doing? I said, and they were like, oh, I'm still grinding. I was like, yeah, man, it's hard, blah, blah, blah. And I asked them, I was like, can I ask what your review was like, last year? And they told me some of their notes. But the thing that I will always remember is they were like, like you're almost there, but you need to, you need another 100 pages. And then, maybe we can talk again. So I was like, oh, yeah, word. So did you do your 100 pages and then, hit them up? And the person was like, no, it's just, that's a lot of pages. That's a lot. So, I couldn't do that many. I was like, okay. Like, I'm not losing sleep over it. But to me, that's exactly what it is, because it is a lot of pages. But like, that's as simple, like, it's as simple as that. Like you do take with a grain of sand the advice from any of our peers. But if there's people who are in a position to give you work that you want to do, saying like, hey, you need to improve, and this is a good way to improve, and you choose not to do that, then I think that can be sort of telling. And for me, it was that I was always just the opposite of, I want to do this, and either you have advice to help me get there, or the opposite, which is like, oh, you don't think that I can get there. Both of those are sort of the fuel that I need, and I'm sure I'm not unique in that. So yeah, do please steal that, tell that to whomever.
I've often said that it's not a job of diligence, it's a job of belligerence. So it's like, oh, I will do this without any, I will do this just because I'm going to do this, not because
100%.
But I will
100%. Yeah,
and
man.
that seems to, that I would hope seems to echo that sentiment. I had a guy who I would go see every year.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That super helped.
Yeah. Can I ask who did you see?
I saw there was a few. So I saw Rob Hunter, who was an inker, Tim Townsend.
Oh, nice. Inker. Yeah, of course.
And gosh, who else? A bunch of smaller indie guys that I would see at shows who have no Mike Wagner, who is a great,
Yeah.
great comic indie guy.
Yeah.
Great guy, love him. I would see him every year, and I would just
Yeah.
show him my portfolio and get some advice. And that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
how you get better. Is somebody
how you get
telling
better,
you what you're
man.
doing wrong, and then you fix it, and then you go and do it,
100%.
or not listening to them for very specific reasons.
True. Hey, man, like if you go see someone for 3 years in a row and you're making the same mistakes, at a certain point it's intentional, and then it's just
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man. And I will say too, like the comic book, even the indies is like, it's such a small world. So if you're making relationships, building relationships with these professionals, if you're not a piece of shit, then like eventually you're going to improve. You're going to start making friends. You're going to start like meeting more people. There may or may not be opportunities to make money, but there's probably going to be opportunities to make art. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's cool too, especially as a young creator.
So how do you make art? What's your tools of the trade there?
I was in the back, whatever it's called, backstage watching. I love the tool talk from before. So I like all the artists that you've had on today. I'm all traditional. I'll do all my cleanups digitally, and I've been lettering all my work digitally. But all my work's traditional. It's ink and watercolor. I've been really into the Browse is the brand of nib that I've been using. It's I think it's German, and the 515, I think. This really springy nib, and it's super, super narrow at the base, so you have to buy their own. It's shitty. You have to buy their own like nib holder.
Oh yeah.
Which is so fucking small. Sorry if can I swear? It's too late now.
It's after 10 p.m.
Okay, great. I'll stop. I'll try not to. But their nib holder is so small, so I'm like, buy their nib holder. I tape it to a bigger, like a Takinawa nib holder, and the Browse nib on top. But yeah, it's all dip pens, nibs, brushes. The watercolors, gouache. I'll do, if I'm doing mixed media stuff, then it's whatever I need, inks and oils and it's acrylics, wax, whatever.
That's great. I am always so jealous of guys who will just like throw whatever they have an understanding of how things are going to look, or not even how things are going to look, but how to use the tool, right? Watercolor is so weird and tricky and has its own different thing than gouache does, and has its own different properties. And I haven't played around that much or don't feel comfortable enough in myself as an artist to like throw out whatever I have. But I like looking at your work and looking at guys like Sienkiewicz and that style of comics making it always makes me excited. Your art makes me excited to make more comics, and I do none of what I do looks anything the way that you work, right? But it makes me want to make more comics, even if it is just with my cartoony ink line, which is great.
No, I mean, I'm the same. I mean, Bill Sienkiewicz is obviously a huge influence, and like I'm the same when I see artists who look so free in the art that they make, or free on the page.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
But for me, I mean, I appreciate the compliments, but there so many times I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just hoping that like this thing comes out the way that I want it to, or like it truly was like this year that I realized that like, whatever layering isn't working because like the chemicals, like the chemical reaction between the wax, the encaustic that I'm trying to put on top of oil that hasn't dried is not going to allow me to then put on a water base, whatever, like chemistry stuff. So like, I don't know, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, or it'll be like, it'll not work for a couple times, and then I'll remember like, oh, this has to go first, and then this, and then this,
right.
And then, whatever. But thank you, Jamie, for the kind words though.
And then where is it? Where is this thing? And then you met this guy.
Yes. So this I will say, this is going to premiere at MoCCA this weekend. This is the 3rd issue of Punk Slim and Mop Top Bop from Superhero Comics, the book that I'm working on with Marty Keene, who's a good friend of mine from Brooklyn. So we have the third issue coming out at MoCCA, and the plan is for the fourth issue to come out later in the summer.
Nice.
Did you draw the first two issues?
Yes. Yeah. It's Marty and I have been working on all three together. So I'll have the first three at MoCCA as well.
Okay.
The first two came out last year, maybe one a year. It's happily, thankfully, I've been busy the past couple of years. So Punk Slim is something that I get to do, as and when Marty and I can. So it's been sort of one a year, but hopefully this summer we'll be able to get a second one out for 2026.
Nice. Will Maddie be at MoCCA?
He's gonna come hang out with me for a little bit. So if you're there on Saturday, you can come to my table and see both of us. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I just want to see you. I mean, that's
Yeah,
Monty's
man,
fine and stuff like that.
Nah.
But no, I'm really excited. Like, this is my first MoCCA show. I'm excited to just drive in and hang out in the city and see some comics and get a good meal. I mean, going into the city and getting a good meal is like good stuff. And then, are you doing Heroes Con?
I am not, unless
Okay.
unless you know someone who can connect me. I reached out and I think that they're already full up.
Oh, okay. Because you had this epic piece from last year's auction.
I know, which Marty and I did collaborate on. I would love to. Heroes was great, and I would love to go again. So I'm gonna try to reach out to a couple people that I know at Heroes, because that was a super fun show. This was done live on stage, which was sort of stressful and sort of fun. I mean, Jamie, you want to talk about being free with your media, like working the way I work, I thought was loose and experimental. And to watch Marty work, he's just like throwing something down, whiten it out, throwing something new down, whiten it out. So to work together on this, I think it came together really, really nicely. And
it looks great. You made Marty look fantastic. You made Marty look like nobody's doing.
That's what I keep telling him. Yeah,
that's what it is. He called me the other week and he was like, "Hey, I'm just I gotta call you. I'm inking a page right now. Just thought I'd call you." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I finished a page in the time that we had been talking. Have no idea if he inked at all.
Probably. Honestly, my man is fast, so he who knows what he got done. Yeah, Marty and I talk like every day, and he's always like, "This is what I just did. This is what I finished. This is what I'm working on." It's cool to see. He's a busy dude.
I don't know. The way he works and the way he draws, I'm not sure I understand how you can talk and do it at the same time. But we're not all Marty. We don't all have weird brains.
Right. Yeah, right.
So you brought it up, like working free, and you don't know how you do it. And it's 1 year since Jamie emotionally scarred you with this piece.
You kept it. Wait, is that on a whiteboard?
It is on a whiteboard.
And you kept it.
Yeah, no, I've just kind of kept it in the corner, and I told my kids not to.
Buddy, erase
not
it.
To touch it, man.
Tell your kids to play on it. Draw something else.
We're gonna adhesive. We're gonna spray
fixative.
It. We're gonna spray it. I'm gonna take one. Matt's gonna keep the other one. I just got new studio space, so I'm gonna take it.
Nice.
When I see him at IC3.
Hell yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for IC3 Providence, and I'm.
Yeah.
I know I haven't sent you the email yet, but I know you're coming to the show.
Yeah, if you'll have me. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But no, it'll be a good time. Bigger space. I think we're probably 165 tables, maybe a few more, and so we might get to like 200 creators. And there's a Mexican restaurant that stays open late that has a mariachi band. I mean, I don't know what else you need. Comic books and late night Mexican food.
There we go. There we go.
And then there's a big brewery right by the hotel, and so we're gonna have like a drink and draw on Friday, and then just a massive space. So it's gonna be a really, really good fun show, and fun times.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, no, I've said for the past couple of years I want to do more shows, and I just don't. My excuse is my daughter's 2 now, so I'm like, it's hard to travel and blah blah blah. But it is fun getting out and doing shows. So I want to try to do, the indie stuff is great. Anytime I can get to like one of the bigger, heroes type shows, that's awesome. New York Comic Con is sort of a mess, but it's sort of also fun. So hopefully more shows coming up. But I'm looking forward to IC3 for sure.
Yeah, I definitely understand you with the kid thing. Like, I told my wife, I was like, it's like, I'm going to New York on Saturday. She's like, what are you talking about? It's like, I feel like I told you a long time ago. I'm just driving in and driving out. Just, I don't know. It's like, we got the kids doing things. And so I was like, no, I'll be back. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just sneak out.
Yeah.
I know, man. We have like joint calendars. We have individual calendars. It's a juggling act for sure.
I know, man. I don't know if you saw when you said that you studied literature. I think Jamie got like 2 inches taller.
Listen.
Oh, word. Did you also study literature?
Yeah.
To do nothing with, but enjoy reading and
right, yeah,
like
exactly.
fucking Lord of the Rings. yeah. It's fun. I mean, I always loved reading and writing, and I think that it's pretty hand in hand with what we do with storytelling. So makes sense.
Yes, I like to say I'm one of the only people that I know who actually uses his degree still.
Sure.
Which is
yeah.
Which I hold with his chip on my shoulder in certain situations, but yeah, no, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Storytelling, writing stories, reading
That's
stories.
What it is. Yeah.
And then I know you've done Comic Art Live in the past, and at MoCCA. Like, does your style? I don't know. Does your style lend to like doing commissions at shows?
Yeah. So I'll be taking commissions on at MoCCA. I can't remember. I've got it's like maybe it's 8 by 11. It's whatever size I have of paper upstairs is for show commissions only. And that's kind of it for the rest of this year. I'm not taking on any commissions outside of show appearances. But MoCCA is a 2-day show, so I'll probably just take commissions on Saturday to do during the day and then overnight. But I do all my show commissions have been on toned paper, black and gray and white, or like monochrome. So it's fun to do. I sort of say, I mean, I don't like drawing in front of people, and I don't blah blah blah. But then I do the events with you guys last year, and I did the Heroes Con, drawing on stage, and then I do, commissions at shows are fun. So. Yeah, happy to do that. And yeah, like, they're not as complicated maybe as the work I do at home. But even at the shows, I'm bringing my brushes and my nibs and my, whatever cheap watercolor I can pack or some sort of like, Doc Martens dyes or something to splatter around and make a mess. So still
That's
try to
awesome.
experiment and have a little bit of fun. The looser you are, the more you can get away with too, And then it just seems like, oh, he's so passionate.
That sounds like a Monty Keene sales special right there.
Yeah, no.
Patch.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, Jonathan. Safe travels into the city this weekend, and I can't wait to again give you a high five and buy some comic books. So
100%. Yeah, man. Table 144, I think.
Nice. All right, man.
Right
Take
on.
care.
Cool. See you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi. This is the end, my friend.
Yes.
So I need some Pokemon. This is what we promised the people.
Oh yeah. Well, they're so far away. You sprung this on me when we started.
Well, we get to see your sweater collection now.
Yeah.
And if you let's zoom in and read Jamie's library of books.
I didn't realize
the Black Phoenix
behind my sweater. That's
double sweater.
I didn't realize I was double sweatered up.
Stray bullets. I'm trying to think what else I see. Blankets. Blankets is good. It's you got some stuff in there. Oof. Foul Play is a very good Chevy Chase Goldie Hawn movie.
Also a great collection of Jack Davis comic strips.
Ooh.
Or comics. Black Phoenix. Call out some of my favorite indie stuff. Black Phoenix. We got Copra, Cancor, Matt Allison. It's all the good stuff. This is all Eisner. Yeah. Yeah. I got some stuff. I got some things.
I ordered a commission from Matt Allison.
Ooh.
I did.
What'd you get?
I got a tiny Thor and a giant Celestial.
Very cool.
Yeah, I figured he knows
He's good
what
with
to.
scale.
Yeah,
That is something that he is very good at.
Are these sketches that you haven't shown us yet?
Yeah.
Are these going to be available at Comic Art? No, don't show us yet. Not yet. Are these going to be available at Comic Art Live?
I suppose so. I've just kind of been doing them. They've just been my warm-ups recently. I've been playing. As we said at the beginning, I've been playing Pokemon for the first time in a very long time. And I just was drawing Pokemon. I did a bunch of these Nintendo characters on like 4x6s just as warm-up stuff. And
Oh, nice.
Now I'm playing Pokemon, so I'm and it's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, so I have one more. But yeah, that's just super fun. Just getting my hand back up. I with moving and everything, I wasn't drawing as much physically, so it was a lot of writing. It was a lot of writing stuff in sketchbooks. But now that I have my studio all set up and everything's good to go, I'm like in inking mode for this project that I'm working on that I can't talk about yet, that's cool. Those
I was like, wait a second, we could talk about it. I was like, oh yeah, you and I can talk, but we can't talk about it to the rest of the world.
You know what I'm working on. So I can't talk about it yet, which is cool. But I've inked. I think I'm about halfway done with the inks for it. So that's fun. But it's like super tight ink wise. Stylistically, I wanted to do something a little tighter than I normally do. More akin to old comic strip, like talking animal stuff. So it's really really tight on that end. Real Walt Kelly inspired stuff. And so I've been doing that, and then to warm up my hand, I've been doing Pokemon sketches, which is fun.
Nice. And is that my wizard cowboy in the back too?
This painting right here?
Yeah.
No, that is actually the cover to issue 5 of Spacao. It's Pirates. It's a little kid.
Okay. I've seen the Pirates before.
Book should be out. Fingers crossed. If I get this other book done and everything's good to go, should be out in May. So in time for Heroes. That's the fingers crossed goal for issue 5 of Spacao.
And then on Saturday, you were at the Shelley Bond, Carolyn Cash boxing match.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
And Jesse Lonergan was there too. I was so.
Jesse was there. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Didn't expect him to be there. I just walked in and he was like, "Oh, I live so close to Partners in Sun now," which is really great. Having moved to Philly in December, so I'm getting started, getting going, and talking to people and hanging out with comics folks, introducing myself into the comic scene over here. That's been it's fun.
No, having like a good comic shop scene is so amazing. Like I miss that so much, and I'm very happy that you have that, my friend.
I had such a good one in Savannah. It's hard to have left them, but now on to new adventures, new comics.
As we close out, let's do a little recap. Kezra and I will be at MoCCA Fest this weekend, and on Saturday we're going to go to the Jack Kirby panel. And I don't know if you see in there the Jack and Ross Kirby Awards are mentioned, so that's pretty good. Kezra will be there on Sunday. We'll have flyers for IC3 Jacksonville, IC3 Providence. Applications are still open, so if you're a creator and you want to come to either the show or both of the shows, go to www.ic3.art. Comic Art Live's coming up not March, because this is March, May 16th through the 17th. But more importantly, mystery sketches start They go on sale April 2nd, and that's next week. I cannot believe next week is April 2nd.
Don't remind me.
I know. And then, Jamie, just so you know, this is for you, all the creators. Booth setup starts April 16th. Like a whole month in advance before the show.
That's a magical thing.
I'm talking to every creator out there. You have a full month to set up your booth. And if you need help setting up your free CAF account, just message me and I will help you out for all the indie creators and all the creators that want to post there. But like, I think there's going to be some indie comic panels for Cal this year.
Ooh.
I'm still trying to figure out how to pull off drink and draw virtually with it maintaining, you know.
We'll figure it out. We can hey, guess what, Matt? I'll get on camera with you. I'll drink some with you and we'll figure out how to do
it. Jamie, this conversation has been long overdue. And I'm so glad that we got to hang out for the past 86 minutes. It's pretty awesome. So,
listen, there's more to come. We'll hang out a lot more.
So to everybody, to all the comic art fans and friends and family and artists and creators and readers, like, thank you. And I don't know, read more comics, make more comics. Is that what we're doing?
Comics?
Comics.
Comics, baby, comics.